Okay, let's face it, my last video about Jimmy was spot on, as this series is littered with possessions where he won't engage in the offense with Jason Tatum guarding him. And I get it, there are better matchups to hunt, but the offense seems to stall in these moments, wasting precious seconds on the shot clock that make the shots more difficult the longer it takes to stand there, call for the ball screen, get the switch, and then go to work. And in crucial moments when the Heat need him to penetrate and put pressure on the defense, he's not aggressive, leaving his teammates out to dry with a short clock and not much room to operate in. And in a sign that perhaps he realized how unaggressive he was, or that he saw everyone tagging him with my video on Twitter, he actually tried to go at Tatum and it worked out okay as he drew 2 free throws on the turnaround post move. And I think he might have surprised himself by beating Tatum's pressure in the backcourt, and it directly opened up this wide open three-pointer for Caleb Martin. But by the end of the first, we realized why Tatum is the best defender Boston has for him. Long, quick, with strength, who, unlike Derek White or Grant Williams, can force all those little shots into misses. Another thing that bothered me last night was the Bam post-ups. He's never been very good at them, and I think they got lulled into a false sense of security the first few games, since it's an adventure whenever he puts his back to the basket and takes steps that are way too far outside of his cylinder for my comfort. The sloppiness of his foot plants extends to the rules of the game as well. On this drive, he gathers with the right foot down, hops on that same foot quickly for a travel before muscling the shot in. On this one, after he jump stops, he moves both feet before jumping into the air to shoot, another blown call. But in last night's game, they caught him down there when he ends the dribble and then lifts his left foot pivot off the ground and puts it back down without passing or shooting. It was brutal to see them keep coming back to him down low when they were desperately in need of a basket, and the face-up is usually his best bet, but it's harder to make this fadeaway going to his right. I guess I didn't mind this duck-in, a basic jump hook looks fine, but this was a key miss that could have really helped them get back in a game that was soon lost. Here's a good example of a very shaky handle, and you can bet the Celtics will be digging for steals every single time from now on. I've never seen a good post player bring the ball down on the floor like this, and I'm sorry, but you have to call bank on this shot if you want it to count. At this point, I had it with his post-ups, and they went right back to him. Notice how Horford is giving him an arm's length of space. Now Bam can't get by him with his lack of dribble moves, and he's left flailing for a foul that never comes. I'm not going to pretend the Heat could have gotten back in this game at this point, but you have to understand that turning the ball over in the post is the absolute worst outcome you can have. If you're going to get the ball down low like this, you must at least get a shot off, and I hope Bam can fix his dribbling issue before Game 6, or it's going to get ugly down there right quick. In the Game 3 video, I pointed out how the Celtics passes per game dramatically went down once the playoffs started. I'm not sure if they watched it, but wouldn't you know it, suddenly their passes per game shot right back up to regular season levels, and it's no surprise their three-point percentage went up as well. Against the Heat zone, they made 7 passes around the perimeter until Tatum created an opening by attacking the seam, drawing multiple defenders, and generating this good look from White. Jason Tatum's passes per game went up big time as he decided to be much more of a facilitator by drawing the defense to him and then not forcing a shot himself, instead finding guys open on that left wing for much easier shots that clearly energized the Celtics on both ends of the floor. It does feel like the Celtics figured some things out, and I fear the Heat blew their best chance at winning this series. And if they don't get Jimmy Butler more aggressive, not only will they lose it, but his box score numbers will suffer. And if you want the opportunity to win some money on his box score production, then you have to head over to UnderdogFantasy.com and check out Pick'em, where you can choose 2 to 5 players, then decide on the over-under for specific stats. It's super easy to set up, and you can win up to 20 times your initial entry fee. If you think Tatum is going to light it up from downtown in Game 4, then get in the action. But it doesn't stop there. You can make it a rival and add players from different teams to make it even more interesting. They've also got drafts where you can compete against me. You think you got what it takes? If you click on the link below and use my promo code BBALL, you'll get a deposit match of up to $100. So if you want a chance to get up to 20 times your money or beat me in a draft, you've got to check out Underdog Fantasy. Use my code BBALL, get up to $100 in matching deposits, then you'll have a chance to win money and understand that the real difference in the last 2 games, the key to Boston winning, is their three-point shooting. You can see a clear difference in three-point frequency the last 2 games, as the Celtics must have said to themselves, hey, we can't keep missing threes like this, so let's shoot even more of them to accelerate the process. There are 3 key areas they've increased the most: the left wing, right wing, and left corner. On that right wing, we see a little pattern, like helping off a shooter 1 pass away, figuring they're just going to keep missing these open shots, primarily disrespecting Derek White, who destroyed them in Game 5 by hitting 6 of 8 of his threes. The pick and pop was also a great way to open up those shots on the right wing, especially when it's Tatum handling the ball as the Heat defense wants to load up on him. Of course, this was not an easy shot and shows you just how out of his mind White was. But here's another example of the kind of gravity the Celtics can leverage with Tatum, and Smart gets a wide open look on the easy pass. The Heat have consistently over-pursued the ball in the pick and roll, as this is simply not Jimmy's help since Bam is right there to support Strus, leaving Grant Williams open to cut the lead in Game 4. And if you're wondering why the Heat feel the need to load up and blast Tatum in the ball screen action, when they don't, he'll turn it into a 3-point shot if the drop coverage makes a mistake, or will do his multi-dribble combo into a step-back 3 that became an early dagger in Game 4. Speaking of multi-dribble combo moves, Brown helped their left wing 3-point percentage rise dramatically with a couple of ISOs that served to not only extend the big lead, but demoralize the Heat in the process. Here's another pick and pop where Tatum can draw both defenders to him and make the easy bounce pass to a wide open Grant Williams that just continued to torture the Heat last night. The left corner came alive as well with another example of Tatum passing a lot more the past 2 games. This crazy hook pass back across the court shocked everyone, especially Max Strus, as Smart nails another triple. Look how Tatum expertly draws the focus of the entire defense before the great ball movement exploits the 2-on-1 on the weak side for another left corner 3. The pin away for Tatum has been neutralized, so Horford slips the screen, forcing Strus to rotate down. Brown was all over this, just waiting for the opening to skip it to the corner as White lights it up. And after Jimmy had to switch on to Horford with the handoff action, it's simply not his help here, nor did Bam need the help anyway, as Horford cuts into the early lead. Of course, the injury to Gabe Vincent really hurts the Heat, but it does feel like the Celtics have watched my figured some things out here, get the ball moving more, hunt for more threes as their percentages are returning to their expected values, and hope the Heat continue to throw the ball to Bam down low in the post. If the Heat don't win tomorrow, I think we'll have our first ever down 3-0 comeback series win.